Happy Friday. Hold on. Oh, press record. All right, we're recording. Happy Friday, Cravers. Do you remember when I used to drop episodes every other Friday? From the very beginning. So it feels kind of cool to be dropping an episode on a Friday. And I was thinking today, I was like, you know what? This 5 Days of Crave challenge is really motivating me, and I'm feeling good, and I'm getting really comfortable again back in the studio. So also I've been like tracking my day, and I'm like, I gotta tell my cravers, Okay, today's morning was not as exciting as yesterday because I had to get a filling at 8:30 in the morning. By the way, I have not had a filling in so long, and this one tooth, like it was an old filling that keeps falling out. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do about it. I'm just like, just pull it now. Anyways, it's like an old like metal silver filling, and so hopefully this time is the charm, it sticks and life is good. But I came home and I was like, oh my god, my face. And Mr. Wright is so sweet. He was like, I have breakfast coming. And so I just like sat there for a minute and I had like some ice on my cheek and I'm like, oh God, like it was just like whatever. And I was just trying to feel better and let the ibuprofen kick in. And he goes downstairs and I'm thinking, bagels or maybe Chick-fil-A breakfast, coffee. He comes up with McDonald's. And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even know McDonald's was making cheeseburgers at the time. And he comes up with this big tray. He has like fries, cheeseburgers. I'm like, what the? And he sits down and we like in bed and I go, who has breakfast McDonald's lunch for breakfast in bed? He goes, we do. Today we do. He sat there and I was really glad that my mouth inside of my face was still completely numb because let me just tell you, after that meal, I haven't had a thing. My face has been hurting so fucking bad today. I did take some ibuprofen before I went and worked out with Katina after work. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, so just a rough way to start the day. And I told him, I was like, I wish, I was like, my face is all numb and my mouth is all numb. I wonder what it's like to suck dick this way. These are the things that I think. No judgment zone here. So I had a great day at work, and then Katina texted me and she was like, hey, after work, do you want to go for a workout? And I was like, fuck yeah. Like I finally get some one-on-one time with my best friend, and we had such a great time. Not only a really tough and hard workout, which my legs are going to be singing tomorrow. It was so fun. We were talking about funny stuff and it just was so good. It was good for the soul to have that time with her. And it really meant a lot. So started the day off rough, ended it well. So I can't complain. I also wanted to share something with you guys. This is a little personal and vulnerable, but you know what? I was like, I gotta talk about this. Okay, so in between my work and my workout, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna have some one-on-one time. It's some solo play time. And I have been, okay, how do I bring this up? Well, you guys know I've been through a lot, right? And when my dad passed, I found that I had a lot of anxiety. I've never really struggled with anxiety before. This situation and him passing and just all the dealing with cancer and everything, I found myself almost having like severe health anxiety. I had my annual mammogram in March, and I had totally convinced myself. I even told Mr. Wright, I was like, listen, I'm fully expecting to go on there tomorrow to get like a bad scan, and I'm going to be the next one to fight cancer. And he was like, Adrian. And I genuinely had like worked myself up to the point where I was like, no, I'm going to have cancer, and something's going to happen to you, and something's going to happen to my daughter. And my mind was like racing. It was something I've never really experienced before. And I know I'm still grieving. There's no timeline on it. But the anxiety, especially in the morning, was just too consuming. And so I spoke with my general practitioner, and he said, Adrian, and I was nervous because like I had friends that were like, try this, try that. And I was like, I want something that doesn't impact my sex life. Like that's what and that sounds like a little, maybe, no, that doesn't, it sounds right. That's what matters to me. That's what I care about. And so I was very concerned. And I said, listen, I want to make sure that I don't have any impact on my sex drive, on, orgasm function. I've thought about these things. And he was like, let's try Celexa. He's like, I've had some good results on that. And I noticed, especially the first 2 weeks, like I really didn't even think about sex too much. I mean, I still was craving it and wanting it, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm gonna go chew bark off that tree if I don't, release this or, get it on. And so, which was almost kind of a little bit of a relief because my sex drive is super high. Then as like the next 2 weeks went by, so 1 month in, I really started noticing, I was like, oh, she's back. I was like, oh my God, and it's been great, right? Same thing, same as it ever was, whatever. However, I've noticed it's been taking me longer to reach climax, and I'm a little frustrated by that. I spoke with my GP at like my month or whatever on it, and he said, Adrian, we can cut it. I'm on 20 milligrams, so we can cut it to 10. And so I'm really thinking about it. I told him, I said, I'm going to give it a full 8 weeks and see if things like even out, because, you have to let this drug work, right? And just so you're aware, I have been feeling so much better. I don't have anxiety that everyone in my life that I care about is going to die. I don't wake up with anxiety. I don't think I'm going to get breast cancer tomorrow. So like that is working, and that has been worth it, right? But today I broke out PCAT, which we're going to talk about PCAT in a minute. But I noticed like it just took some time, like extra time. And then I think to myself, am I in my head about it? Do I need to just like stop thinking about it and just, I don't know. I'm worried, like, is this taking too long? It's like, and I don't know. So if you've ever had experience, please reach out to me. You can ping me on my website, hit me up on email at midlifecraving@gmail.com or over on Instagram. I love getting DMs from you. So it's at midlifecraving on Instagram. I'm in the DMs. Reach out to me. Let me know what has worked for you, because like, if this doesn't get better in the next 90 days, I'm probably going to think about switching, or maybe I might just get off of it altogether. I feel like this is a very temporary thing as I'm going through my grieving process. And so I don't know, but I will tell you, I was like frustrated today. And I don't know, I'm nervous and I'm scared. I'm like, gosh, because like I don't want to have that anxiety back, but I want to have amazing orgasms. And I did finally climax. It just took a while. It was a little frustrating, if I'm being honest. It was kind of like medieval times, back when I used like my hands or the shower head. And I was like, ugh, I really wanted just to have that happen faster. And maybe I need to get out of my head and just move on. But if you have experience with this, like, let me know what you've gone through or what you've shared. Or if you're going through this right now yourself, like, let's talk about it. Okay, now, PCAT. By far, one of the very best toys I've ever owned in my life, from Tracy'sDog.com. You guys have heard me talk about her a million times. Devastation overcame me when one of my cravers reached out and was like, Adrian, why isn't PCAT on the website? Like, we're looking for her. We want to buy her. I want to buy her for my friends. And Tracy's Dog let me know that she's been discontinued. I don't know. I didn't even like look too far into it, but basically they were like, yeah, we're working on new technology and new things. And I'm thinking, PCAT is the best. And I told them, I was like, oh my gosh, but I think there was maybe some trademark issues. I don't know, but PCAT is no longer a Tracy's Dog, and I'm devastated by that. Every time I use her, I'm like, oh God, please don't die. Please don't die. I've had her for years, and she's like all faithful and, as strong as ever, which is a testament to the Tracy's Dog brand. But I'm like, oh my God, like I love her. So I want to give you an alternative for those of you who have been excited about PCAT, couldn't get one for yourself. And that is the OG Pro. I'm going to be doing an unboxing on this on my Tracy's Dog show that I'm recording this weekend. But, Captain Morgan, who I affectionately named her, it's like one of the best vibrators and best experiences with the toy that I've ever had. And I have a pro tip for you. You know what? I have her. Hold on 1 second. Let me get her. I have her somewhere over here. Where is she? Where are you, girl? Oh, here she is. Okay. I have her out of the box. Sorry about that, because I ain't into the shit, so. Okay, so the PCAT, OG Pro, let me show you about her. This is my very first Tracy's Dog toy ever. This toy is what made me fall in love with the Tracy's Dog brand. And the reason why is because it gave me G-spot stimulation and the best clitoral stimulation ever. Now, PCAT, I know she's my girl. However, PCAT is not a true clit sucker. This is a true clit sucker. PCAT is more of a clit pulser, like the Rose, like Rosie. So what my pro tip for this toy is, the bottom button is for the vibe in the G-spot area. I say press that 3 times for like that ultimate vibe. Then the top button, I would say use the second or third setting because that controls the power of the sucking. And let me tell you, if you're a beginner, you cannot go too far. Me, someone who's used this toy for years, I would use 5 or 6. And then the key to this toy is do not use lube. There's such thing as too much lube with this toy. And you want to fit it in, and I like to hold on to the clit sucking portion because I like to make sure it's sitting on my clit just right at all times. I know that might sound inconvenient because you don't want, you want it to be like a set it and forget it toy, but that's not what this is. And so I'll actually hold this on and maneuver it around, and you will reach climax. I'll try this one out this time. But let me just tell you, I've had hundreds and hundreds of orgasms, mind-blowing orgasms with this toy. And so this is the OG Pro on tracysdog.com. And don't forget, if you use code Cravers20, you get 20% off. A must-have toy. I have 1,000 of these laying around, and I absolutely love them. Okay. So that's the alternative for PCAT. And I use both of them. I interchange them. There's a reason why this toy is not charged right now. Okay. And so wanted to let you know that because a lot of people have been asking about PCAT. And so get the OG Pro. You won't be disappointed. And don't forget to use code Cravers20 to get 20% off your entire order. I hate when someone says oh my God, I didn't know you had a promo code. And I'm not trying to push that, but it's come on, you can get 20% off your entire order. Why not? Okay. So all the things today. And then I also had a conversation with one of my very favorite cravers who I met years ago on the show. And it was so fun to catch up and hear what he was up to. And he's doing really well. And I was so happy to hear from him and hear all about, how good things are going for him and his wife and stuff. Okay. And we had this discussion about, he was like, Adrienne, I'm so proud of you. And he's like, it's amazing to see your journey. Can you believe your journey? And did you think you would get here? Because I was telling him how happy I am. And he was like, Adrienne, we can hear it, we can see it. And I love that because it's true, And we started talking about, gosh, my evolution in my life, in relationships, in my sexuality, and it got me thinking. I want to share with you today a big takeaway from the conversation, and that was growing and evolving is vital to your happiness in life. I find that, there's a lot of people in this world that are just existing day in, day out. I'm someone who wants to live. I feel like I want to live this life, not just exist and get by. Yes, it can be scary at times. There's a lot of risk involved. You may make some mistakes, but I'd rather do that than just coast and, status quo. That to me just sounds very boring. Okay, so I was thinking about how I've evolved. And it's just so fascinating to me because, this is my life. I'm living it. I'm doing it. And I never take a step back or take a look from the outside looking in to say, wow, that was a journey. Look at that evolution. It's crazy. And really in the last 5 years of my life, the life of this show, it's incredible how much I've changed and how much I've grown and evolved sexually. So let's talk about that. One of the biggest things I think, and if you listen to earlier episodes, I would always be like, yeah, I'm not really into women, I need a man, I'm more into men. Not that I was ever, shaming it just wasn't for me. And then I kissed a girl. I did an episode about that. And I was like, oh, that was nice. And then I always was saying with my friends and stuff, I was like, I was bi northern, meaning I would make out with girls. I really liked breasts, just a very bi northern girly. And that evolved to where I became, and I am, more bi-situational. So, depending on the situation, and especially the connection that I have with the woman, I can go all the way. And those are significant things I never thought I would ever do, right? It's crazy, and it's okay. I can evolve, and I haven't played with a girl in a long time. I was actually telling Katina, I haven't played with anyone other than Mr. Right when it comes to sex. We, soft swap, sure, but I have not had sex with anyone in almost a year other than Mr. Right. That's crazy. But I was telling Katina today, I don't miss it. And I was telling my friend on the phone, I don't miss anything. I don't feel like anything is missing. And, I've been a lifestyle girly, and we're going to talk about my journey there too. But it's crazy to me how you can just evolve and change. And that's okay. Like, that's the message I want to send here. You can change your mind at any time. You can change the path or the course that you are on in life. And remember, we're all here doing it for the first time as well, right? And it's okay to make a change. It's, I feel like that's how life is meant to be lived. So anyway, back to like just how I've evolved with women sexually has just been very fascinating for me. And then I wanted to touch on, my evolution in the lifestyle, because one of the things my friend was asking me, he was like, Adrienne, what is it like, with a partner now? Like, how are you navigating that? And, what is your plans moving forward? And again, it's like, I don't know. We'll see. I know that me and Mr. Wright have phenomenal communication. We talk the ins and outs of everything. It's actually one of the things that really made me fall in love with him so quickly. It was how comfortable I felt with him, how safe I felt with him, and how we could literally talk about everything. I mean, any and everything, even the tough stuff at early on, you know what I mean? And so we've discussed everything, and we'll keep continuing to talk about things. And we're both on the same page where it's like, we love the lifestyle, we love the openness, we love the fun, we love being around sex positive people. It is just life-changing when you find your tribe, right? But we both also feel like we don't have to have it. It's not a need in our relationship. A want, sure. Add it on, great. A benefit, a bonus of our relationship, absolutely. However, we are serious with our boundaries and our standards, and how we have to both have 100% connection with the other couple. Everything, all the pieces and parts have to fall into place. There's a party coming up, and he and I are like, all right, we got to get into things. We got to meet people. And then we both were just like, you know what? No, we don't. Like, it's great to be around sex positive people, but we do not need to have the pressure. There is zero pressure here for us to do or perform or have anything happen. We could very well go to this party. We could go there and not even play and have an amazing time. We could go there and just play with each other and have an amazing time. Or we can go there like gangbusters and let it fucking rip because everything's working out, and, have fun with a bunch of different couples. I don't know. And I think part of me loves the spontaneity of that, like being like, I don't know what's going to happen, and that's exciting and fun too. I'm not going to be disappointed at all whatsoever with any outcome. And so anyways, I feel like I'm going off on a tangent here, but I wanted to share my journey in the lifestyle, because a lot of people are asking me how I'm navigating moving forward, because I've had quite the experience. So when I first found out about the lifestyle from Kat over at Two Hot Wives podcast, I'll never forget, she reached out to me and sent me an email when I was stuck in the Bahamas with COVID. That's a whole story you can backtrack on. I think it's like episode 30 something. Anyways, and I was like, lifestyle, what is this? And then I jumped both feet first into the deep end with Baywatch. My first lifestyle experience ever was a big party. And it was amazing and so much fun. So I jumped into this lifestyle with Baywatch. And then, I became a solo unicorn. And, which by the way, Baywatch is doing awesome. I'm so happy for him. He was 20 years younger than me. And so that was just, I just want to make sure you guys know, he, is going to go off and get married and make beautiful babies. But anyways, then I became this unicorn for a couple of years in the lifestyle, and navigated with other couples and started to really evolve in my sexuality with women. And it was amazing. I would go to parties, and then I had, my dom, and I had played with partners that played, separately, and had so much experience and so much fun. I really loved being a unicorn. It was quite magical, I must say. And then when I met Mr. Wright, it was like, whoa, this is changing now again. But that felt really good and right, and it's been perfectly fine. It's okay. I'm changing my mind. I'm changing my course. evolving to something different now. And the lifestyle with a partner is a whole new world. Okay, Jasmine? Like, it is totally different than being single. A lot of different things apply. And I've been loving learning from other couples and just like growing with, you know, Mr. Right in this lifestyle. And yeah, it's just fascinating to me how much I've changed, how much I've evolved. And again, my takeaway for you today is just to let you know that you too can change your mind at any time. You set the scene of your life. And as long as you're staying true to yourself, you simply cannot go wrong. I'm going to leave you with that. It's Friday night. Let's get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Back again tomorrow. All right. Oh, shit.